Hello, everyone. I have sent Christian the invite. We're just waiting on Christian to get his equipment set up. I'm trying to get comfortable in this setup. How's everybody doing? Saturday night. Hello. How's it going? How's everybody's Saturday? How was it? Good Saturday, bad Saturday, meh Saturday. Mine sucked. It was terrible. Off work for the next 2 days, though, so that's always exciting. Basically, the setup with tonight's stream is going to be similar to what I do with Justin. We're going to take questions. We're going to talk about some stuff, show some stuff. Just kind of the whole 9 yards. There's really no theme to it. I enjoy talking with Christian, so, I look forward to honestly just sitting down and chatting. I'm stoked about it. Hope you guys are too. And if you don't already subscribe to Christian, absolutely do so. What's up? You made the stream this time. We're just waiting on Christian. He should be in here any minute. I sent him the link, and we will get down to the nitty gritty. Guess I call it the nitty gritty. I don't really know. Rocking the original It t-shirt. I don't wear this shirt a lot. Used to. I feel like the more I wear it, the more I have to wash it, and the more the colors kind of like just kind of all merge together. I don't know. Not a fan of that. If you guys checked out my, if you haven't checked out my horror Blu-ray haul from the other day, do so. I got some really freaking cool editions of some movies that I didn't own. And yeah, it was super cool. Sorry, guys. We're waiting on the man, the myth, the legend. Also, I feel like this would be a good time to kind of plug my next video, which is going to drop Monday. Normally we drop Friday and Sunday. I'm going to drop on Monday this week. We're going to try a different release schedule. See how it feels. But Monday we're going to be dropping Rob Zombie's Firefly trilogy. Review, ranking, talk about it, all that jazz. So that should be cool. I haven't talked really extensively about the Firefly trilogy on my channel up to this point. You guys know I'm a Rob Zombie fan, so thought, hey, I'd love a balloon, but nobody will ever get me a balloon. It's a shame. It's a shame. Funny story about that. The night that chapter 1 came out in theaters, I went and saw it at the midnight screening right after work because I had closed that night. I went straight from work to the theater, and I thought I'd have some fun. On my way into work, I bought red balloons, and when my crew was closing, I printed off the picture of Pennywise in the sewer, and I made a little SS Georgie boat out of paper, and I taped the Pennywise in the sewer picture to the bottom of one of the prep tables. I put a red balloon coming up from the bottom of the prep table and put the SS Georgie going down there. And I left it for the morning crew. I thought, why the hell not? That'd be fun. It was fun. I dug it. I thought it was hilarious. I hope the morning crew got a kick out of it. This was years ago. But yeah. Yeah, dude, I'm burnt. I'm spent from this week. Ready to have the next 2 days off. I figure I should let you guys know too. Monday's stream with Justin this week, we're going to be talking about horror remakes. And it's not necessarily like, oh, these are my favorite horror remakes. These are the worst horror. It's just going to kind of cover the whole thing. We're going to talk horror remakes. I'm going to get his thoughts on some. You guys are going to get my thoughts on some. We're going to show off some. Yeah, I thought that'd be cool. So we're going to do that. That is the theme. Hey, I know. They better have. Okay, it took some creativity and just some. I don't know. I was trying to be fun. I was trying to be, kind of lighthearted about it. Have a good time. I never asked him though. This was years ago. Let's see here, ladies and gents. I don't know where he's at. CHH. We're paging you, bud. Honestly, I was a few minutes late too. I said 11, and it was a few minutes after. I didn't get home from work till like 10:30, and I was like, I'm gonna eat dinner and talk to my fiance for a little bit. Here we are. When I was actually at when I was at FYE the other day, there was a couple movies that I put down that now I'm feeling the need to go back and get. So I'm having that craving. There's a couple. There was like Invasion of the Body Snatchers on Blu-ray. I put that one down. I don't know why I did. I was kind of feeling guilty. I was like, I shouldn't overspend. What else was there? There was oh my lord. There was another one that the Thing prequel. Yeah, that was another one. And I used to own that. I don't know what happened to it. I enjoy that movie. Just wish they would have used more practical effects rather than CGI, but I enjoy the movie. There you go, Dan. That's gonna get him in here. Christian loves balloons. I just know it. Let's see. I actually haven't talked to Christian on a stream in a few weeks now. Haven't seen his face aside from his videos. Excited to chat it up with my dude. I'm trying to. Hopefully, I didn't miss. There's no way I missed it. No, he didn't put any. He's not in there yet. Yo, fire away, guys. Anybody have a question while we wait for Christian? Anything you want to know about this shelf behind me? Anything you want to know? Any suggestions for content in the future? Questions about content I've already done? Fire away. While we wait for Christian, we might as well, ham it up a little bit. So, also I should let you guys know I am buying a microphone, so my audio is better. It's a must. I'm aware of that, so I'm going to address that. Just wanted to let everybody know, and I'm not going cheap on it. I'm going to get a really nice one. So, thought I'd let you guys know that. I got this ring light now. So you can see the pearly whites and the scruff, whatever you want to call it. We're going to be moving in like 3 months. And the goal is to get a 4-bedroom house because I want to make one of the rooms just my nerd lair, horror dungeon, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, that's the goal. So, fingers crossed. My white whale. There are a few things that I really, really, really want. And for whatever reason, I don't have the money at the time when I see it, or when I do have the money, it's not there, or I can't find it. Let's see. One of them is the UK Halloween complete collection set, and that's 1 through Resurrection, and it's years old now. It's probably at least 10 years old, but I always thought it was so cool, and anytime I've had the money to shell out on it, it's not available. And what else? Any more Michael Funko Pops than the one I have? I have the oh shit! I'll get it. I'll get it. Ooh. All right. I have this one, and I can't seem to find anymore. I'm sure I could if I search certain places online, but like anytime I go to FYE, it's like they have Freddy, they have Jason, they have Leatherface. They don't have Michael. Any Michael. I'm like, what the fuck? I have not, but if Cody Leach's opinion is to be trusted, Cody said it's bad. I remember watching that video a while ago when Cody was talking about remakes. I haven't seen it. I mean, I know good old Nick Cage is in it, but no, I haven't seen it. Do you like it? What do you think of it? What else? I'm trying to look because I know that there's things that like I really want, but Dan, about your question, but in the Halloween novelization, the original, it's not that I can't find it. I have found it before. It's just really expensive, and I want it. I'm sure I'll eventually shell out the funds for it, but yeah, it's really expensive. Yes, it's so bad, it's hilarious. That's what I've heard. So I'm sure I'll get around to watching it. I mean, shit, for years I heard that Pet Cemetery 2 was garbage, which I don't agree with that after having watched it, but that's what turned me off from watching it for so long before I finally just bought it and watched it and didn't hate it. So, I mean, I try not to let other people's opinions shape what I'm going to watch or how I'm going to feel about something. And that is obviously evidenced by the fact that I love Rob Zombie's Halloween movies, because there's a lot of people, especially in our niche group of Halloween fans, that hate those movies. I'll never be someone like that. I don't know. I respect the hell out of them for what they are. I won't lie though, Rob's got some stinkers. Like, let's see, this one right here. This is not a good movie. Not at all. I like Dream On at the end with Sherry Moon and Doomhead. I think that's really cool. It's kind of reminiscent of Freebird and Devil's Rejects, but knew this is not a good movie at all. And I saw this in theaters during its limited run. I don't regret it because there are some fun moments, like genuinely fun moments. But it is not good. But I will say, Richard Brake as Doomhead absolutely kills it. He's fantastic in this movie. I mean, absolutely fantastic. If you haven't seen 31, it's worth a watch simply just for Richard Brake. He kicks ass in this movie. One of Sherry Moon's weaker performances, though, for sure, is 31. I see your comment. Let me get it. Because it seems like nowadays there are more people that feel that way, but so many people hit it for so long. And it was like, why? What? I would never be ashamed to, I don't know, speak my truth and feel how I do about something. You know, I'm not gonna shy away from that. You know, I like what I like. If somebody else doesn't like it, that's cool, man. But it's not gonna change how I feel about it. I loved it from the first time I saw it. So, easily Rob Zombie's most frustrating film. And I mean that because a lot was going for it. The score. Okay, Christian just texted me, guys. He said, I'm coming. All right. I'm sure he's probably listening in. So, yeah, Christian. The score was amazing for Lords of Salem. The cinematography was amazing for Lords of Salem. The acting was actually pretty damn good, too. The dialogue wasn't too over the top like a lot of Rob Zombie movies. Had a lot going for it. And it fell flat on its face in the narrative department. And that's why it's so frustrating. There's just some moments in the movie that just it stops the movie cold in its tracks. Doesn't make sense. Not enough is fleshed out. Easily his most frustrating movie. Though I will say I enjoy it. I do enjoy Lords of Salem. I mean, it's beautiful to look at and listen to. And I think that it is the movie that, you know, if you want to know if Rob Zombie has the chops to be a filmmaker, watch that movie. And I mean, yes, you can't walk away from that movie and be like, oh, Rob Zombie doesn't know how to be a director. No, he's got the chops, man. I don't know what the issue was with it and why it came out the way it did, with some of those frustrating moments, but I do enjoy it. But man, that movie could have been like a cult classic, honestly, if the narrative was a little tighter and the ending wasn't so ambiguous and weird and out there. I really do think it could have been one of those movies like an It Follows that you don't really expect to be much, and then 10 years back, you look back 10 years from now and you're like, oh damn, that movie had a lasting impact on a lot of people. So in my opinion, it's his most frustrating movie, but it's still a good movie. It's not his worst. I'm trying to think of his worst movie. I mean, I saw The Haunted World of El Super Bisto, which is like that animated one. That was so dumb. I don't even really count that. His worst movie, honestly, is probably 31. I mean, it probably is. That movie, just not very good. Like I said, I like Richard Brake as Doomhead, but not a lot to that movie. I mean, there really isn't. So, hello. How's it going? Sorry, I know it's late for a lot of us. It's 11:30 here. Christian's nocturnal. So when we stream, we have to do it when bats are out. The vampires can feast. I don't mind because I'm nocturnal myself, though I shouldn't be because I work mornings. Yet I find myself being up till like 2 a.m., even if I have to work the next morning. So, oh, it's going good. Hey, at least one of us can say that. It's not going great for me. And I'm complaining. I'm just tired and, but I'm glad. I'm glad it's going well. Isaiah, I don't know how long you've been in the stream, but I was talking about how Monday I'll be back with Justin again, 5 p.m., and we're going to be talking about horror remakes. So make sure to tune in for that. Um, yeah, guys. While we Christian will be here in a sec. So uh, if you guys sub to Christian, perfect. If you don't, go sub to him. He just dropped, believe it was a Psycho 2 review. I think it was Psycho 2. Yeah. And then he also did a 5 Scream Factory Blu-rays that he wants you to own. You know, ones that are highly recommended. And Dracula 79 was one of them. And I did not even know Donald Pleasance was in that movie. If I've seen it, it's been years. So um, that made me realize, like, oh shit, I gotta check out Dracula 79 again. I gotta buy it because I like the edition too they showed. I didn't know that they did like a separate color saturated version of it for black and white fans. That's pretty cool. I never had a problem with black and white. I never have, honestly. Trying to think. This is a movie that a lot of people like to talk about. The Lighthouse. This is a very recent black and white movie. Oh, all right, ladies and gentlemen, he's here. He's here, weighing in at 7 pounds 6 ounces. Welcome to the world, Christian Hanna horror. And bingo, bango, bongo.
Hey, brother.
What's up, man?
I'm so sorry, man. I had to restart my damn internet. It's always giving me problems. Always.
Hey, you're good. We were just we were chatting about Rob Zombie, so you know,
That works for me.
yeah, there you go. How you doing, man?
Long day. I got off work at 7 a.m. this morning, and I haven't slept. So like I'm past being tired. I'm like on that second wind. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm feeling good.
Hey, well, I appreciate you toughing it out to do a little stream with me. As I was telling everybody that either watches this live or watches this on the playback. I know it was a little impromptu, and so most people will probably catch it on the playback. But if you're not subbed to Christian, go ahead and check his channel out, Christian. Why don't you give the people a little taste of what you've done this week, content wise, and what you're planning?
All right. Let's see. Um, I'll swap things up a bit. Sometimes I'll do one of my things I do a lot is pushing physical media. I love doing videos where I drop like 5 movies I want you to own. So I'll do 5 Scream Factory Blu-rays I want you to own, 5 Vinegar Syndrome Blu-rays I want you to own. I do those a lot. And then I'll go on a review kick. So I did Candyman Farewell to the Flesh the other day, Dawn of the Dead 2004, and I did Psycho 2 the other day, which was really fun talking about that movie. And next week will probably be more the same, and I like to sprinkle in vlogs because people seem to really like vlogs. I guess once they watch you for a certain period of time, they want to know what your life is like and basically how you interact in public. It's interesting to people, so I think that's what I'm gonna do is try to squeeze in another vlog next week, one way or the other. So that's probably the goal next week is to do that.
Yeah, yeah. I saw your videos from this week. First of all, speaking of Candyman, I tried to rewatch The Haunting in Connecticut last night and saw Virginia Madsen in there, which I was did not remember she was in that movie. Um, yeah, movie sucks, but no, it doesn't suck. It's okay. But I watched your review and I was like, damn, I have not seen Farewell to the Flesh in a long ass time. I know she's not in it, but I need to check that out. Psycho 2 as well, and your 5 Scream Factory Blu-rays. I did not know that Pleasance was in Dracula 79.
Yeah.
It's been that long since I've seen it. So I watched your video and I was like, damn, I guess I have to buy that Blu-ray now.
I love that movie. It's so good, man. I tell people like I understand if you don't like old movies, but you know, Dracula. It's cool. Like we love Michael Myers and Jason and all that, but like Jesus, like Dracula, he refuses to die. They're still making Dracula movies. I think that's really cool. And that movie, 79, it's exactly what fans of like 70s and 80s horror would want from it. It's very action packed. It's very in your face. Really cool. And Donald Pleasance is really, really good in it. I feel like he's like in his element in that movie. So it's really good. I love it. And that Scream Factory Blu-ray, they did a great job. I mean, they got a great. It looks really good. So I love it. It's one of my favorite Scream Factory Blu-rays. How you doing, Filthy Dan?
Oh, yeah, cranking beers. Not yet. Not yet.
I'm about to.
So am I. Yeah, dude. At my work, I thought we'd be slower tonight because it was prom for the town that I work in, and I was like, all right, nobody's gonna order. So I had like a skeleton crew because all my crew went to prom, and nah, we weren't slow. And I was running it with like two people, so it was awesome. I didn't leave there till
Oh.
like 9:15. I was supposed to leave at 8, so yeah.
Damn.
I can't complain though. I haven't been up. God, you've been up what? Probably 24 hours.
Yeah, but I'm fine. I after like a certain period of time, I'm good. You just not tired. It's like you go through that cycle and then you're ready to go again. But I'm sure like whenever later tonight, if I sit down and I'm like, let me put something on TV and like a commercial break hits on a YouTube video or something, I'll be gone. I'll just
Oh
I'll
yeah,
just I'll just automatically just conk out. But I'm good. I got my monster. So
yeah, yeah. Hold up. Oh, come on now. The originals. There are very, very few remakes that I think you could make an argument that surpass the originals. So if I, off the top of my head, can you think of a remake, Christian, that you think surpassed the original?
yeah, I think so. The Fly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a good one.
Um, I gotta be really careful about this. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I really like the original Last House. Not Last House. I really like the original Hills Have Eyes, but I really like the remake too. It's just, it's all opinion. It's like it's hard to say which one what I think is like genuinely better because they're all products of their time in a way. So in the early 70s, it was all about looking really, really, really gritty and almost voyeuristic, which is kind of like what Texas Chainsaw did and the Hills Have Eyes kind of did. And in the mid 2000s, it was all about gore. The MPA was you were able to push it. So and the Hills Have Eyes in '06 was just really nasty.
Oh yeah.
And I think you just kind of see which one do you think did it better for its time. Do you think the original was more voyeuristic and creepy and low budget and 16 millimeter ish in its era, or do you think that the 2006 one was better at being really graphic and stuff? I mean, I like the 2006 one more, but
Well, it's funny that you were saying that you were like correcting yourself about not saying Last House on the Left, but I get it. They're both Craven films, came out around the same time, remade around the same time. That's a movie that I would probably argue that I think might a remake that might be better than the original. That remake obviously can be hard to watch, but I think that remake kicks ass. I mean, I love that movie.
yeah, I think the original is a movie I respect. I have a lot of respect for the original, but I never really go back and watch it. I've watched it a couple times and I'm good. Like I think that the remake is more enjoyable too. I really like that remake a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of Wes, I mean, with the exception of like Elm Street and stuff, Wes has had some of his movies turn into pretty damn good remakes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I have a soft spot for the Nightmare remake, but I'll never say that it's an objectively good film. I just, for whatever reason, I just enjoy parts of it. I don't know.
Dude, and I don't know if you. I'm sure you. I think I remember you saying this, but like I've said it for a long time. Like I really don't think, or Jackie Earl Haley, just I don't think he was given a fair shake. I thought he was. I mean, the dude's been like nominated for acting awards. I forgot what it was, but like he's really talented.
I
It's not
think
like Jackie's not bad. Like he's a bad actor.
wasn't he in Watchmen?
Yeah, he was in Watchmen. I remember he was in a Scorsese film I loved where he was like a prison. It was that movie where DiCaprio was like, I don't want to spoil it in case anybody's seen it, but I think it was Shutter
Shutter
Island,
Island, yeah.
and he was a prisoner, and he was my favorite part. He was
Hmm.
insane in that movie. So,
Yeah, Shutter Island fucked me up. I didn't. That movie was awesome the first time I saw it.
right, yeah. So, I mean, I think Jackie's great. I don't know. I don't know. I just think that that movie needed to put the brakes on it in the beginning a little bit
Oh
and stuff
yeah.
like that. You know.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I was trying to. I mean, as far as the original question goes. By the way, what's up, man? How you doing tonight? Nice to see you in the chat. Um, I don't. I don't know. It's crazy because there there are a lot of remakes that I really like. Like one that I struggle with is, and we've talked about this before a little bit. I've talked about it a lot. Um, Evil Dead, and I say that because I don't really consider 2013 a remake. Um, but at the same time, everybody wants to label it as one, and I'm
Hmm.
like, well, if you're going to label it as one, I Evil Dead 2 is my favorite. So if I had to say, what's better, Evil Dead or the Evil Dead or Evil Dead 2013, I'd probably pick 2013. But I don't really call it a remake, so it's I don't know, it's hard.
Yeah, I get so confused with this reboot, remake, re whatever. I mean, I've been corrected so many times. I just gave up. Like I've called it was like, oh, the it remake was great. Oh, it's not a remake. It's a reboot. I was like, well, what is the difference? Like, and I'm sure
Yeah,
there is. I'm sure there is a difference, but I give up. I give
yeah.
up.
No, I totally get that. I would. I mean, it is definitely a remake. They're remaking that story. Like same characters, new actors. Like that. That's a remake. Evil Dead. The reason I say it's not is because Fede Alvarez said it takes place in the same universe. Like Ash's movies have already happened at this point.
Hmm.
So I'm like, okay, well, we don't have an Ash Williams, and we got new people, new circumstances. Like it's a reboot. I mean, you want to talk about remake, fucking Cabin Fever. Did you ever see that remake?
Yeah, I've seen Cabin Fever
Pretty bad.
and Patient Zero. I've seen
Um,
that too.
yeah. Did you know that? And I didn't know this, and nobody had like tipped me off on this until I got it. The Mondo Steelbook for Pet Cemetery came with a damn poster. I never knew that.
Hmm.
I opened that shit up while I was doing my video, and I was like, "Holy shit, guys! I had no idea this was in here."
Yeah, that was cool. I mean, Mondo, when that came out, that was the first time I was like, "Holy crap!" Mondo's getting into like they're sponsoring Blu-rays or whatever. I forgot what. I don't remember if it was just a Mondo release and that was the only. I mean, you could probably tell me if you looked at your Blu-ray case because I don't know. I think I have that one, but I mean, there were records, because I have the record and that's what it is. It's that artwork and stuff. And I was like, is that a Blu-ray from Mondo? And I was like, sure enough, it was. But I don't know if there was a parent company involved with that. If it was Paramount as well, I would assume so. But like, I was like, holy crap, Mondo's putting out Blu-rays. But I had to get that Blu-ray too because I love it.
Yeah, it says um, Mondo and Paramount.
Yeah,
So
that's so cool. That's so cool. I love Mondo. Love Mondo.
yeah, I was taken aback by that too. I was like, Mondo and a Steelbook? What? But I mean, dude, it's a killer Steelbook. The art is fantastic. I mean,
Yeah,
let's see. What are we talking about? Which remake? Which remake are we
pro-
talking about? Because that could
probably.
go for a lot of them.
I don't know.
Ooh. And then Mondo did exclusive Steelbooks with Best Buy and FYE. Okay. Do you know what other movies, by chance, in the comments? Let me know if are there any other standout steelbooks that they did, because if they did, I'd like to get them.
I remember him doing something else. I remember him doing something else, but damn it.
Oh, and
I know I've got the Pet Cemetery one.
yeah, Cabin Fever. Yeah, okay, I totally agree. That movie's trash. The original's cool. Yeah, but the remake, yeah, you're right. Yeah, we were just talking about right before you came in this bad boy, because you were talking about black and white movies, and I was like, well, here's a modern black and white movie, and I think you even mentioned it in your video, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably.
The Lighthouse.
Yeah.
What do you think about that movie?
I really, really, really liked it. I don't know how many times I would revisit it, but it was trippy. I mean, it was really trippy. I mean, William Defoe is really cool in that. It's a movie that it's one of those movies I think you really respect, and you don't expect that the most vicious kill is going to be a bird. You know.
I've only seen it the one time, the night I bought it, and I agree with that. Like, after having watched it, I came away going, man, that was really well made. Like, you can tell the director gave Robert Eggers gave a shit about what he was doing. I think it was well acted. I think it was just like you said, trippy, kind of, off the walls. But it wasn't a movie that I'm sitting there watching like, oh my God, I can't wait to revisit this, because it's such a weird experience. It's like, I don't
But you'll
know.
be thinking about it in a few days. I promise you. Like I'm. Oh, that movie's always in my head because I'm still
Oh
trying to
yeah.
figure it out.
Oh, so am I. So am
So
I.
I like that guy. He did The Witch too, and that's another one I really like. You
Mhm.
know.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what he does next.
He's a guy that I think, um, I think that he's in the same air right now as, what is that guy's name? Ari Aster. Kind of a newer
Right.
director. Ari,
Mhm.
kind of a new director that's making a name for himself with these kind of, I don't know if I call them art house horror movies, maybe, whatever you want to call it, but definitely
Mhm.
different. Um, I loved Hereditary. I loved The Witch, from each of them. I really enjoyed The Lighthouse, and I hated Midsommar. So,
Right. I remember you
uh,
said that. Yeah. Midsummer's
yeah,
not my favorite. I mean, I think Hereditary was a fucking juggernaut. You know, and Midsummer, I remember I watched it. I've only watched it the one time, and I didn't dislike it. Um, you hear a lot of the complaints that I hear from people, or the main complaint I hear is style, no substance, and I don't argue that. But to me, I always said, okay, to me, it was a dark fairy tale about a girl who's she has a broken home and she's looking for a family, and she finds it in the most twisted, horrible way, and she belongs to something by the end of the movie. But I think that the movie certainly wanted to gross you out
yeah.
at the end of the day. And some of that stuff was disgusting, man. Like with the soup. I don't
Oh
want to
yeah.
say it.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to say it, but
That,
I liked Hereditary leaps and bounds more. I think Toni Collette was just fucking amazing in that.
yeah. My thing with Midsummer, the problem for me was that I felt like, and I don't know, maybe this is off base, but I think that it came across as like such a. It almost came across like pretentious at times, like the filmmaking and the style, and trying to really stand out, like, oh, look at this shot, and I was just kind of like, we get it, man, like, you're talented, like, but for me it was just super predictable. Like, I knew I knew they were a cult. um I none of that surprised me. Like, none of anything that happened, I didn't walk away from it like, oh my God, that was shocking. I was just like, yeah, I saw that coming. Well, I don't know if I needed 3 hours to get there, but you know, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, I get it. I get it. I really do. That's something I hear a lot. It's polarizing, and I don't know. I'm excited to see what he does next because I have no idea. Because I feel like Midsummer and in some ways was the exact opposite of Hereditary. Hereditary is a very dark, grimy film, and Midsummer's bright as hell.
Hmm.
Sunlight, outdoors, bright. So I wonder what he's gonna do next. It's
I don't know.
interesting.
Yeah, talking about. I think it's called The Collected, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, I saw Lee do a video, I think 2 weeks ago or so, talking about that. How it was they filmed it for 8 days and then shut it down. Do you know any more about that, Christian?
No, I never. I'll be honest with you. I never looked into it. I never heard about it. I really don't know what the hell happened with that. I really have no idea.
Do you like the first two movies?
From what I remember, man, I saw him. Shit, it's been years. I watched the first. I watched them. I have them. But I've never revisited them. So it's odd to see another one come. It's kind of like, goddamn, what Strangest Prey at Night came out
Hmm.
like 11 years later,
Yeah,
10, 11 years later. It's like, damn, really? What's going on?
that's a damn good movie too. I never asked you your thoughts on that. What do you think of that movie?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I think it's really fun. I like the first one a little bit more, but I love the second one. I love the second one. They didn't try to do the exact same thing in terms of like. I think the first one is just fucking scary,
Hmm.
especially when I was in high school when that came out, and it scared the shit out of me. And then the second one, I thought it was just fun. I loved the pool scene. I just loved it. I loved it. No backstory. We don't know anything about those
Yeah.
bastards. They just show back up, you know. Give me another one. Give me another one. I'm ready for one more.
Yes, that's what I say. I mean, it's the same. It's one of those movies that falls in the same umbrella for me as Child's Play 2019, in the sense that I'm like, okay, you made the movie for 5 million, you made 40 million. Why
Mm.
don't you make another one? I mean, you definitely profited. There was enough people that wanted to see it. I don't know. I just that pool scene sticks in my head like forever. Like that with Total Eclipse of the Heart playing, I'll never hear that song the same way again,
And
ever.
when the music kicks out when he goes underwater, genius,
Oh
genius,
yeah, yeah.
genius.
Oh, we got a question for you, Christian.
Christian, I was wondering what is the white whale of your collection? Something you want so bad, but it absolutely escapes you.
Robert England, just in his room.
uh, I mean, I do have something coming that I've wanted for a very long time. I guess I'll say it. Um, so David Miller, he did the effects work for the first Nightmare on Elm Street. Then he came back for 5. He has David Miller Productions. He sells props and stuff from his movies, and he sells props that he's made from his movies, like molds from it and stuff. And he did Baby Freddy, which I know Dream Child, but he made a Baby Freddy, and then about 4 or 5 years ago, he was selling replicas from the movie mold, and he was recreating it. And it's life size. It's a life size Baby Freddy, and it's disgusting, and it's decrepit, and it's on a base, and it's like, oh, it's gorgeous. And I wanted one so bad, and when I got the money together to go get it on his eBay channel, he pulled his eBay channel down because he'll have some time to do them. Then he gets a job doing something, or he does whatever, and he's gone. And then he'll pop back up on eBay again with his eBay channel doing the Baby Freddy's. Well, a couple months ago, somebody hit me up and said, "Christian, he's back. He's back. Go, go." So I have that coming. I've wanted that for about 5 or 6 years. So I got a Baby Freddy, and it's horrifying looking. It's huge. So that is a white whale, but something I'd still want that I don't have. I don't know, man. It's getting harder to come across that. Um, damn,
Hmm.
I don't know. That is probably it. And I'm getting my white whale. And it's cool because I've actually been in contact with David Miller because my buddy Simon, who bought once, I said, "Did David make yours?" And he goes, "Well, I was talking to somebody on eBay, and David told me that he wasn't making mine, but one of his henchmen were making it." And when I messaged the eBay channel this time, I was like, "Hey, is this actually David Miller?" And he goes, "Yeah, it's only me right now because of COVID, so I'm making these all by myself." So this is David Miller. So I'm excited that David Miller's, you know, actually making mine. So that's really cool. But that kind of is my white whale, man, and I've wanted it for a long time. It's a weird white whale, but nevertheless, it's my white whale. So if I think of something else up here shortly, I'll bring it up. But I'm not really a guy that goes after like movie prop. No, no, excuse me. Uh, actual movie pieces like from a movie. Like I don't really chase that kind or ever, quite frankly. I don't think I have anything that was from the movie. Mostly, it's just replicas of stuff that I like, or original posters. You know, so that's it. But if I think of something else, I'll mention it, Dan.
Yeah. Is Dream Child your least favorite? Didn't you say it's not Freddy's
Um,
Dead because you have
I
that
mean,
sentimental?
the remake's my least favorite. If I'm adding that in there, I don't know, man. It's really hard. I guess you could say that, but I love it. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
I, 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 I don't know. I think I like Dream Child more than Freddy's Dead, but the soundtrack for Freddy's Dead I really like too. My big thing is it's always which nightmare when I wake up is my favorite. Is it Nightmare 1? Is it Nightmare 2? Or is it Nightmare 3? Today it's Nightmare 2. I was talking to somebody today. I was wearing a Freddy hat when I was out and about, and the guy was like, "Oh man, what's your favorite nightmare?" And I was like, "Well, today it's Nightmare 2, but tomorrow it'll be Nightmare 1 or Nightmare 3." But today it's 2. You know, I still think that's the best looking Freddy. I mean, if you were gonna run into one of them, that's the last one you want to run into.
yeah, I
He'll
think
fuck, he'll fucking kill you.
yeah, I think the most ruthless and like genuinely like scary Freddy was two. Like, I don't
Oh,
know.
dude, when he busts out of when he bust, I still think the best scene in that franchise is when he busts out of Jesse. That scene is fucking amazing.
Hmm.
When he busts out of Jesse out of his stomach, and oh Jesus Christ! I mean, I've told the story 1,000 times, but I love telling it. That movie scared the shit out of me. That was the movie that made me fall in love with horror, because when my mom rented that from Blockbuster, she was supposed to get one, but somebody rented it, and when I watched that movie for the first, that was my first Freddy movie in like in actual like in legitimate consciousness. Because when I was little, I would see clips, you know. But when I saw that movie, it scared the fuck out of me. I mean, it legitimately scared the shit out of me. And man, I'll never forget it.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite times. This was like 2009, 2008, probably 2009 because I was a senior. I didn't sleep for like 3 days, man. That movie scared the piss out of me. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean
So,
that's why I have a soft spot for Halloween 5, and a lot of people don't understand. And I'm like, man, I don't know. It just scared me when I was a kid. So it's
mhm.
I can look at it and be like, man, that movie's so flawed. But I don't know. I just love it. I get what you say though when you're like, yeah, I guess technically if I had to rank them, this would probably be my least favorite. But I love all these movies, so it's hard to, you know.
It's like I always tell people like whenever in any I'm not the best person to talk to about Nightmare on Elm Street because I'm so fucking biased that, you know, what's your favorite? All of them, you know. What's a bad one? None of them, you know.
Yeah,
I love all of them. You know, I really genuinely love every single one. I would take a bullet for them. That's how much I love them. You know, I can be more critical of Halloween. I can be a little more critical of Friday, but I'm so unobjective with Nightmare. It's ridiculous. I just love them that much. So I'm not the best person to ever ask like which one is bad, which one do you think is like because I'll get upset. There is no bad one. They're all fucking great. But no, two is today. Two is my favorite. So and what always makes me happy is seeing that people love two. I'm looking at the chat right now, and it seems like people just love two, and I think
oh yeah.
that's great, man.
Yeah, guys, if I don't put your comment up, the only reason I wouldn't is because everybody's pretty much saying the same thing right now, which I mean, I agree. Christian agrees. It's awesome to see people finally start to come around on two.
And
Because
this is my baby, Nick. I mean, let me see if I can get my camera out the way. But that video store display, that is a
Oh,
Freddy's Revenge. That is a Freddy's Revenge display, and that thing is just it's buck wild. I love it.
dude, that's
That,
awesome.
the beauty of YouTube, Nick, and you'll come across this kind of stuff as you know stay busy with YouTube. I know, even though you've been around a long time, YouTube is why I have that thing. Not because I wanted it. It's YouTube is because that's why I got that, because a friend of mine said, "Dude, I've got this guy who's got all these video store displays. He likes your channel. Hit him up. He's gonna sell it to you cheap." So I hit the guy up, and I don't want to give away his name or anything, because he's still got stuff for sale, and I would never want to divulge what he sold it to me for, and then people be like, "Hey, you sold it to." That's private, and I'm sure you understand that. But he hit me up and he goes, "Dude, I really want you to have these. Tell you what, I'm gonna sell it to you for blank, but you're gonna get a part 4 display. It's never been open. I'm gonna give you that one too." And my jaw hit the floor. So
Hmm.
YouTube is awesome, man. For all the crap, YouTube is awesome.
Yeah, no, I mean, I really enjoy it. I've noticed. I mean, I've being active again the past 2 months. I've stayed active, and it's been really cool. I get a lot more engagement now, a lot more. I don't know. I've been having a lot of fun with it, man.
I'm so glad you're back. Like I said, man. I'm so glad you're back. I do. I do. You know what made me laugh my ass off though? I gotta call you out on something.
What?
So so I'm going back to you. I swear to God, I have a playlist of like, I know Drew does not like Jason Lives. Um, I go back to your playlist sometime and watch your old videos. I got them down to a T because I've watched them so many times. And when you do your Halloween 4 review, dude, you had a big gap between your previous video and Halloween 4. And you're like, "What's going on, guys? Sorry I'm back. I'm sorry I'm late, guys, but I'm back. I was sick." And I'm like, "Motherfucker, you were sick for 7 months?" I'm gonna take a 7th month break and
Hey,
then come back and say, "Sorry, guys, I was sick." What did you have? Walking pneumonia?
hey, hey. Okay.
Leprosy?
No, no. It's funny that you mentioned that because I just rewatched that review of mine the other day, and I thought the same thing. I was like, why did I start that off like, "Hey guys, I'm back. I was really sick. I'm feeling better now," and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
I think it's so funny, man. But great review. I love it. I love those little videos. I love what you're doing now. It's great. You need to evolve. You're doing the right thing. You are. You're doing the right
Well,
thing, and
and I
your
think
channel's growing.
yeah, I mean, it's been cool. Like, I am also one, as you know, if you go back and watch my old shit, like even when I would review stuff, I always tried to push physical media. Like, I wasn't the type of guy that was like, I'm gonna put the clips and everything in here. I do that now, but I always try to, hold the movie up, like show these editions, and because I want to push people to buy them. Like, go out and
You're
buy
an
physical
OG.
media.
I know you're an OG. I know. You know.
Yeah.
I found this today, dude. Do you have this? I marked the fuck out at the not the grocery store, at the it's like a second, it's called Second Charles. It's like Books a Million, right? They had the Good Times release of Halloween 2, and I marked out at this. I lost my shit. Oh, of course you got it, you son of a bitch. You probably got 6 of them.
No,
What do you got?
I do have it, and it's like the old
You
school.
bastard! You got the snapper case. All right,
Yeah.
if Drew's here, he's got to tell me which one's better: the chunky DVD case with the insert, or the snapper case. Look at that. This is so cool. We both got it. You got the snapper case. I've got the chunky DVD case. But dude, yeah. What year does yours have on it? Mine is '01. You start.
98.
You son of a gun! Wow, that's
Hmm.
cool, dude. But yeah, I mean, so Good Times, from what I understand, is they kind of borrowed the license from Anchor Bay more or less, because Anchor Bay had done so many releases by that point. Get out of here, Garn Coral. But I'm marked out. And dude, what the hell is he doing on the side of that? That's part
Oh,
6.
wait.
Everybody's going snap cases. Y'all can kiss my ass. I'm just kidding. That's cool though, man. Of course, the snapper case is legendary.
I
But I
bought it
thought
on
that was cool, man.
I bought it on eBay 5 years ago for 67 cents, I think.
Oh,
Yep.
I believe it. And you
Mhm.
probably got that years ago, huh?
Mhm. Yeah, it was 5 or 6 years ago. It's
You
one of my
got the
favorite.
Halloween 3 one?
Good times. Um
Yeah. I got that
uh
one on eBay because I was a mark for it.
no,
It's cool. It's cool.
that one's still
The Halloween
eludes
2
me.
one's cooler.
Yeah.
This one's
I
just
don't
money, dude.
I don't have 3.
That's just
Let's
money.
see. What's up, Dennis? Uh Night shift. Yeah, you're in Germany though, bro. Holy shit. What time is it over there? Like 6 a.m.?
Mm, God bless.
Yeah, no, there's a Second and Charles by my house, and I had never been there till Brooke took me there like last year. She's like, "You'd love this place," and I do. The only thing is, I don't know if it's the same way in Louisiana, but I feel like, dude, they try to gouge you with some of their prices, but they know they have cool shit, so they know you'll buy it.
They do, but they'll do some decent sales like this. I have no problem showing it. I paid $4 for that. $4.40. I got a bunch of stuff from there today. I found this Texas Chainsaw DVD release. I didn't own it, so I was like, "Oh, cool. Let me grab that."
Yeah.
That was $4. Sleepy Hollow. I've never seen that. My wife's like,
Mm-hmm.
she's kicking my ass. I want to see it because it's Tim Burton. This is a movie called Ed Gein that Kane Hodder did, and
I've seen
I
it.
love it.
Yep.
I like this movie. '07. Oh, I found this today. Dario Argento's opera, and that's Anchor Bay. Anchor Bay is like, man, they need the credit that they deserve. They need more credit, man, because they gave us now everybody else is putting these movies out, but they did all of it in the 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
Every last drop, they did it. So I mean, they're kind of like the forgotten hero. And they
Mm-hmm.
were doing scans of this stuff. It wasn't the scans that we're getting now, but I mean, they weren't. They were doing a good job back then. So, yeah, I love Anchor Bay. I always love seeing a good old fashioned Anchor Bay DVD there that I gotta grab. So
Did anyone have the Texas Chainsaw Meat Box? No, I don't have that. Do you have that?
no, I think Drew's got that. It's disgusting. It looks like meat you get at Walmart. It says Texas chain. You know what I'm talking about with the wrap around it, the
Mm-hmm.
raw meat. I'm like, get that out of there. It's disgusting. What the hell are you doing with
Oh man.
that?
What is the movie you probably own the most copies of? Christian, you go first.
um, let's see. I've got Halloween 3 on CED, Laserdisc, Japan Laserdisc, VHS, Good Times VHS, Good Times DVD, uh, Universal DVD, regular release, Anchor Bay Blu-ray, Scream Factory original release Blu-ray, Scream Factory DVD release, Scream Factory box set release, uh, and Scream Factory's uh, Steelbook. So I think it's probably Halloween 3 is the movie I've got the most copies of.
Um,
Multiple formats.
5, 6, 7. I'm trying to count. 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 12 editions of the original Halloween, so it's probably
Uh,
Halloween. Yep.
I don't think, dude. Honestly, of all the Halloween films, that might be the movie. No, I'm sure I've got more copies of that than some of the sequels. I'm sure.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
I
I only
really.
have two. I only have 4 copies of Resurrection, VHS, standalone Blu-ray, standalone DVD, and then the box set. That's it.
Right.
Like I'm not gonna. You won't find me going like, oh, I got to go buy the Chinese
You're not
DVD
going out of
for
your
Halloween
way for the.
Resurrection. No, fuck no.
It's funny. I found this shirt today, and I was laughing my ass off. I don't buy the Halloween shirts. Right? I've got a couple. I saw
Mhm.
this at Second and Charles, and I was like, I've got to get this because we just celebrated the 40th anniversary of Halloween. What was it, last year or whatever it was?
Mm,
1978. A couple years ago. A
3
couple
years
years
ago.
ago, right?
Yeah.
And I saw this shirt, and I was like, I mean, it's got the logo and everything on it. It's got Michael on the stairs, and then I read the print, and I was like, that made me laugh my ass off. This shirt
What's it
says,
say?
"Celebrate the 39th anniversary of the horror classic this October," and I was like, 39th. Hell yeah, I gotta have that. I don't want the 40th. I want the
No.
39th.
Um,
I had to get it.
the
Screw the 40th,
39th
man.
anniversary, bro.
39th anniversary. I was like, man, I'll make a shirt out of anything for Halloween. But I'm
Yeah.
buying it. I'm buying it.
The Anchor Bay 10 of Hellraiser. Do you guys have it? I don't. Christian probably does.
Yeah, man. I believe it or not, I got this at FYE used. Somebody had brought it in,
Ooh.
and I mean they're cool. They come with these this was kind of like I said, man. Anchor Bay was putting out solid releases. These are just kind of like title cards, chapter cards, and comes with a booklet. Yada yada. And then the movies, because they came in those tins, they came in CD jewel cases.
Yeah.
So
Like Halloween 4 and 5 10s are the same way. They're in
right,
a case.
I'm sure you got those, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've
Yeah,
got those.
I want 5, man. I got 4, but I never went out of my way to buy them online. I got lucky and found them at FYE. Like somebody brought some in, and I bought Hellraiser and Halloween 4, and I was gonna go back for Halloween 5, and somebody got it.
Yeah, it's online too. It's expensive as hell if you track one down. I mean, not in the grand scheme of things, but I mean for just a 10 of a movie from '89, like yeah, it's pretty pricey.
Oh
But
yeah.
Mode 7 says 39th was the best. Yeah.
I just think it's the funniest shirt I've ever bought. Celebrate 39th anniversary. Oh Jesus! I don't know. I got a stupid sense of humor.
No, it's dumb. It's definitely dumb. But
39th was the best.
I would have bought it too. So I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. Playing Dawkins while watching. Oh,
Hell
Christian
yeah.
will love that.
Dawkins, baby. Rock it with Dawkins.
Maniac, what? Is it a 10?
Yeah, he's probably talking about the 10. Yeah, he's probably talking about 10. I'm sure they did a Maniac 10. Like I said, Anchor Bay put all these movies out before Blue Underground and Scream Factory and Anchor Bay put out a lot of stuff that's still catching its audience today. Like
Yeah.
a movie like Opera. I mean, it's certainly got a fan base, but it's still growing. And they put out movies like Possession, for God's sakes, and uh, Fade to Black. Fade to Black, which got a cult following now from being on Shudder.
Mm-hmm.
Anchor Bay put that out. They
Yeah.
they put it out, put a widescreen of it. It's amazing when you look back at everything they did. It's really remarkable.
I was this makes me think like talking about these editions because I remember one of the coolest things for me with Scream Factory releasing Halloween 2 and Halloween 3 was the addition of like special features we hadn't seen before. Especially for Halloween 3, we never got shit for that movie. So that was awesome. And when I was talking to Sean Clark a week ago, he
Great
told
job, by the
me,
way.
yeah, it went a long ass time, but
I love that guy.
yeah,
He's a
dude,
hero
so
of
do
mine.
I could talk forever with him, but and he actually floated the idea of us reviewing Halloween Kills together after it comes out. So I was like,
Great.
that'd be cool. But he told me, in case anybody hasn't watched it, he is in the process right now of filming Horror's Hallowed Grounds for every Halloween location he hasn't visited yet. So he's going to do an episode for the remaining movies, including his least favorite, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. So I'm stoked for that because Horror's Hollow Grounds, man. These when Anchor Bay would release a new edition or Scream Factory, you'd get a Horror's Hollow Grounds on there, and I'd be like, hell yeah, dude. I just when I went and saw the locations in South Pasadena, I felt like I was Sean Clark, and I was like reliving shit he did when he was there because I was like, dude, I watched this for like 10 years and never thought I'd be there. So I think that's cool. I was like, are you
Yeah.
gonna visit the filming locations of Resurrection? He was like, well, most of it was a set, but I'm a completist. So yeah, I will go to every location I can. I was like, you're going to go to Canada for like 3 locations. Like
He's gonna
that's
go. He's gonna go to
dedication.
that sound stage. This is where they did it.
Oh man, I'll tell you what. We got a question. Special collector's edition favorite artwork on a box set. My favorite box set I own is Halloween. I think that box set finally did everything right that they hadn't done before, and that includes just all the special features, the black Blu-ray cases, the original movie art, poster art. Uh, I just and the producer's cut on Blu-ray. Finally, I think that it was like the cream of the crop at the time. Won a Saturn Award for it too, so that's pretty cool. But my favorite edition of any movie I own is um, the German Blu-ray of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Mm.
Easily my favorite, and like the slipcover's cool, and then when you open it, you got him in the shack, and then on the inside you get these 2 postcards that I will never
Mm.
use, but I just thought that was so cool. So it was like 40 or $50 too. And Christian, feel free to throw your stones. It is region locked, so I can't watch it. But yeah, this is my favorite edition of any movie I own.
Mm. I gotta back you up on the box set for Halloween. Here's the thing: I love the Friday box set, but the hype wasn't the same. Like I remember for Halloween, at least from my perspective, anyway. When Halloween got announced, here's the thing too. Not that the internet wasn't around in 2013 or 14, but when you're in the YouTube world and you start making friends with people and 6 degrees of seven Kevin Bacon thing starts kind of happening, you start to know somebody who knows somebody, and the rumblings were happening for that box set. You kind of knew Friday was coming. People were talking about it everywhere. I mean, honestly, yeah, it really wasn't even a secret. Everybody was talking about Halloween, the Friday the 13th box set. We
Yep.
all knew it was coming. I remember when Halloween got announced, I just shat myself because I couldn't believe it because it hadn't been done in America, I think,
It hadn't.
before.
Nope.
Uh, quite any franchise to that level, and I remember when it got announced, and then we heard that they were fixing the producer's cut, which I hadn't seen in its entirety, top to bottom, because I would just see clips on YouTube and stuff, and I knew what the movie was like. The fact that this was the first time I was going to be able to watch the producer's cut legitimately, I remember I literally thought I was going to wake up any day now because it seemed so surreal and insane. The hype was so real on that box set. I mean, go watch our videos when we unboxed it. I mean, watch my video. I'm in shock the whole time. Now the Friday box set, like it wasn't as juicy because it was like, let's see if this is as good as the Halloween box set kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing. But the Halloween box set was so massively impactful. It's got to be my favorite physical media box set. It has to be.
Yeah,
It
and
has to be.
you're right about it being done in the States box set for like Halloween or anything like that. The most we got before that was the 30th anniversary, which
Right.
just has 4 or 5, one 25 years of terror, the TV cut of Halloween, and the Blu-ray. That was the most
Mhm.
you got. You never got the entire set, and that's because obviously everybody knows so many different companies with their hands in it.
Mhm.
Dimension, Trancas, Miramax, all the Weinstein Company. So it was all a rights issue.
Right.
But they got it. They ponied up and got it together. It was cool to hear Sean talk about it too, because he was a big part of that. And he was talking about how it was difficult, to say the least, to get it all together. But yeah, I mean, I didn't know how much he actually did with the Halloween franchise. It's crazy. When I was talking to him, he was like, "Yeah, I designed that box set. I designed the 30th anniversary box set. Um, Even the conventions that I don't run, 35 Years of Terror, 40 Years of Terror, I ended up running it when I wasn't supposed to be running it and putting it together. Yeah, he's done. I mean, it's crazy, man. I would love, I would love to be Sean Clark and tell you that he gets an invite to be on the set of any Halloween movie that they're shooting, and I think that that is so fucking cool. I mean, he wouldn't tell
Yeah.
me. I mean, I didn't ask him. I know, but he wouldn't give even a hint of what Kills is like. Wouldn't even say that you're gonna like it. He was just like, can't talk about it. And I was like, man.
And that's
But yeah.
why he'll stay in the know because
Mm-hmm.
he's not gonna say anything.
Yep.
Yeah, dude. I got a funny story about Sean Clark. I would love to talk to him one day to like let him know like, hey, I was this guy. Um, so his company Silver Champagne Novelties that he had for a brief period in the mid 2000s, where he sold incredible Halloween 3 replicas, and he got Tommy Lee Wallace to sign them, the whole 9 yards, all that. He had Halloween masks that were amazing. Well, I bought this. My wife got me the skeleton one from him, and it took like 6 months to ship because he was just such a busy dude all the time. And I bought the witch from him next, and I'll never forget. I bought the witch from him, and I wanted to show my brother. I was like, "Hey, I got the witch from Halloween 3." We went to his website, and it says this site is no longer blah blah blah. I'm like, "What the hell?" So I check my email, and Sean says, "I have to shut down the site. I've got obligations going on right now that are very important, that are very time consuming. Your mask will come to you since you did order before I closed the site down, but just be prepared to wait a little longer than usual." I waited like a year and a half for that witch mask, and I would message him at least like once a month. I'll be like, "Hey, Sean, just checking in," and he would be like, I'm busy." Like that would be his response, and I was butthurt about it. And so like another month goes by. I was like, "Sean, look, man, I just don't want to be left in the dark. Can you please like tell me when I'm gonna get my witch mask that I paid for?" He goes, "You'll get it. If you don't want to wait, take your money back." I was like, "No, I just want my mask." And so we went back and forth like this for a few months. And then one time I finally I didn't spam him. I sent him like two messages, like maybe once. This is like after like 8 months, close to a year. I messaged him. I said, "Hey, Sean, just checking back in again. I really hate messaging you, asking you this. I just want to know. Can you at least tell me when so I can kind of know?" And he doesn't message me back. And then like a week later, I said, "Sean, can you please just talk to me?" And finally, he goes, "Look, dude, I got a lot going on. I'm real busy. If you can wait a little longer, I'll get you your mask. If you want your money back, I'll just give you your money back." And then I kind of said to him, like, "Look, man, I'm really not trying to upset you. I'm a fan of yours. I just want to know when I'm getting my mask." And he actually messaged me back. He goes, "You know what, man? I'm really sorry. I understand it's been a long time. I'm getting it done. I'm just so busy right now." And I didn't want to ask him what he was doing. I didn't want to ask him what he was doing, because I figured if he wanted to tell me, he would have told me. So finally, I get my mask, and then it was announced literally like a week later that Jamie Lee Curtis was doing Horror Hound, and so I found out what he was doing that whole time was putting that thing together.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it sounds, in one sense, you could say, "What's the big deal? He got Jamie Lee Curtis to do a." No, I mean that was a shit ton of work because he ran that convention. He put all that together. He had to do everything. He had to work with Jamie Lee. Blah blah blah. So, I mean, now I get it. And I think I did talk to him one time, like on a live stream, like, "Hey, I was that guy that, bought your last witch mask from you." And he was like, "Oh man, yeah. Oh god, that was one of the roughest years of my life." And I get it now, but funny. It's funny when I look back on that, but I love Sean. I love Sean every time I've ever talked to him in subsequent times. Not that he was mean to me. It's just I wanted my witch mask. But I have so much respect for that dude because whenever I do see him talk to other people, I never see him belittle or act better. Because even despite the fact that he's in that business and I love his YouTube channel, dude. And I'm so like COVID sucks, but it's cool that some stuff has come out of COVID. Like Sean, I mean, he basically started his channel because of that the downtime he had, I guess, right?
Yep.
And I love I every time he does his poster collection when he's got his big binder and he goes, all right, well that's enough for today. I'm like, God damn it, do another one. This is so cool. And I think he just did another one. I got to watch it, but nothing but love, respect for Sean. So I was really glad to see you, have a good conversation with him. I would love to
Well,
talk to him one day like that too.
I was gonna say a few things about that. Yeah, he doesn't belittle anybody or look down on anybody. Yeah, we talked off the record before we started recording it, and he was telling me about some bad experiences he'd had with YouTubers. Like, I've done interviews with YouTubers before, and it's been like so boring and like unengaging, and it's been like the longest hour of my life. And so when we got done, it was like 3 hours long, and I was like, so like was I boring? He's like, nah, dude, I could have talked to you like all night. And I was like, hell yeah. And he was like, let's do it again. So the reason I mention that is because you should absolutely reach out to him and be like, hey, Sean, like, especially since you have like a past with him, I'm sure that would be funny to hear you guys talk about. But you should reach out to him. I know he'd come on your channel. I mean, the dude, he's super nice. He's super
Yeah.
down to earth. I mean, the dude gave me his cell phone number. Like, he didn't have to do that. Like, he's a busy dude. I mean, we're doing this stream and he's like, oh, sorry, Adrian Barbeau's texting me. Oh, sorry, got a text from Danielle Harris. And I'm like, oh, no big deal.
Yeah, he represents a lot of those people, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. He there was a couple things we talked about that had to get cut out of the final video because not things that keep on the down low.
Yeah.
But he is dude, he's awesome. I mean, you should. I mean, you do live streams a lot, and you do like sit downs with people a lot. And even though most of the time it's friends, it's fellow content creators. All obviously Sean is a fellow content creator, but obviously we know that he's a lot more than that to a lot of us. So yeah, man, you should.
Yeah, I'm sure I will. I'm sure I will. But yeah, it's cool. I'm glad to see him be more active. It seems like before he was an enigma for a lot of years, right? Like you would just
Yeah.
see him on Horror Solid Grounds, and he'd have Facebook and stuff like that, but he wasn't. He didn't seem very active.
No, and he was telling me about that too. We talked about it. He was like, I basically got myself into so much shit I couldn't handle all of it. Like, I was doing all these conventions and then my own Horse Solid Ground stuff and taking on new clients, and got to a point where it was like, I don't have time for all this shit.
Right.
And that's why I kept saying, like, if you need to go, he's like, oh no, I'm good. I was like, well, you're talking about you have all these boxes you have to ship. He's like, I'll go to the post office tomorrow. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, he's an awesome dude. I mean, I really did enjoy it. I'm trying. I'm not gonna make any promises, but there's a couple people from the Halloween franchise that I am actively speaking to about trying to get them on the channel. So
That sounds great.
yeah, I don't know. I want to have Kathleen Kenmont on the channel. I fucking love Kelly Meeker. I think that'd be so cool. But I think my holy grail would be, if we're being realistic, someone that actually probably could or would come on the channel. Probably someone like Danielle Harris. I think that would be fucking awesome. But
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, that would be cool. I want to. I'm trying to think who. I'm working on. I've worked on some people, but it didn't come to fruition. I wanted Mick Garris really bad, and I talked to his manager and all that, and he's just busy. He's got his podcast going on, and he's working on a new film, and I just couldn't get him. But I mean, you're gonna get rejected more times than you get. You get a yeah. So I was
what are
bummed
you?
about it because I really love Mick Garris, but I know it's not because he doesn't like me or anything. He doesn't know me, but he's just way too busy. But I got big leagued by Dan. He was in Nightmare 4 and 5. He big leagued me.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know. And then sometimes you'll be surprised. Like Tom McLaughlin, he was great, dude. He was just like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Because I always say like, hey, I know this. I know you're a busy man, and I know I'm just a fan, but got this YouTube channel. It's humble, but I would love for you to come on my channel, and I would love to just pick your brain and have a conversation with you and have my audience just sing your praises. And Tom was like, "Yeah, do whenever you want to do it." And I was like, "You realize I'm nobody, right? You just want to do it." That was great. That's probably my favorite interview I did. That
Yeah.
was really fun. So
Yeah. Sean was the same way, dude. I was like, the fact that he was just so like, yeah, let's do it. Like, when works for you? I was like, really? Me? Like, what? And then he was like, well, I checked your channel out before I gave you an answer. He's like, I
oh
always
yeah,
do that. Yeah.
oh yeah,
Like,
yeah.
he's like, I have to
He,
make sure I like your content and you as a person before I do that. I'm like, all right.
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, got a question. I haven't seen it, so don't ask me. Christian probably has.
I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah. I don't want to say anything because you don't want to spoil anything about an A24 film. My thing to you, Irreversible, is if it's got A24 on the spine of the movie or in the preview of the movie, watch it regardless. Regardless. Because it's A24. And they're not doing what Big Hollywood is ever doing. Ever. So support them because otherwise you're just going to get the same meat and potatoes bullshit all the time from studios like Universal and Paramount.
Yep.
So if it's got A24 in that title, go watch it, please, and pay for it. Don't steal it. Pay for it. No, don't steal Paramount. I'm kidding, but pay for A24. Trust me, guys. Trust me. You want that alternative.
So, Christian, I want to ask you about something that's kind of hurting me today that it came out, and I want to know if you've heard about it and what you think. Um, the reactions to the test screening, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, are out, and they're
What they
not good.
say. What are the
Um,
reactions?
Negative across the board. Apparently, the studio now is looking into potentially having to do massive reshoots.
Oh God, is it PC? Is it a politically correct?
Apparently, a big plot point of the movie is being
Oh God.
anti-gun
Oh God.
in Texas.
Here's the thing. When are people going to realize if you have a message for your film, that's great, but do it subversely. Look at Black Christmas 2019. I mean, seriously. There are movies that have agenda isn't the word I want to use. There are movies that have commentaries on, you know, uh, politics, on civility issues and things like that, but they're threaded through a story that's intertwined with the movie. But when you overtly make your, and I obviously haven't seen this new Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but when you overtly make your film have a agenda message on the forefront, you're dead. People aren't stupid. They don't go to the movies to learn about civil this or whatever. I can't stand this shit, dude. And horror is so expendable, it pisses me off. Where's the remake of Caddyshack? Where's the remake of I don't know. Where's the remake of Miscongeniality? Where's the remake of uh why is horror so expendable? You know what I mean?
They don't take us seriously, you know.
That doesn't surprise me though. And the funny thing was the first people that were filming the Texas Chainsaw, they got shut down after a couple days, and I thought people were like, "Oh, this must not be good," and I had a bad feeling. No, 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 it was probably really good because it was violent and it was disgusting and it was bloody, and that's not what they wanted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
I
got a
mean,
bad feeling about this.
I finally watched Black Christmas 2019 in December because it was on HBO Max, and I was looking for Christmas horror movies. I was like, I'm gonna watch it, dude.
Hmm.
Trash. I'm sorry. I mean,
I was flabbergasted at because you when it first came out, I didn't say when it first came out either, but when it first came out, I was watching reviews because of course I didn't care if it was spoiled for me. I was like, there's no way this movie is what these people are saying. There's no way this movie is saying that men are garbage and racist white men are haunting the souls of the people of today. I was like, there's no way that's the plot. There's no way that's the plot.
Yep.
I'm flabbergasted by it.
Like, I don't know.
I don't know, dude. This is bullshit.
What they said was that apparently the gore is on point in this new TCM movie. Apparently it's great. The kills are a highlight. But there's apparently a scene, just to put it in perspective for you, there's a scene that the audience sees via Instagram Live on a party bus. Leatherface on a party bus.
Uh-huh.
Don't know why. There is, I just, the whole agenda, I guess the movie is about, like, you know, anti-gun, and regardless of your own personal beliefs on it, like, just put yourself in the position of, this is a horror movie in Texas. You kind of would want a gun to defend yourself against this guy. But I digress. But
right.
even then, just having a political agenda in a horror movie, it just doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, and if you're gonna do it, don't layer
have
it
to
on
put it
so
behind
thick.
just put it behind a story. Put it behind a story. Yeah, put it behind a fucking story. George Romero had stuff to say. He had something to say in his movies. I mean, you can't watch Day of the Dead and not say that he's not commenting on the way, he's not commenting on the world at the time and how, we were divided at that point, even in the 80s, and what's going on, and everybody was only out for themselves. He's had something to say, but it was behind a story. You were learning without knowing you were learning in films like that. That's the point.
Yep.
Mask it. Put it behind a story, but don't say, "Hey, we're watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but you should own a gun." Like, oh Jesus Christ!
Yep.
Oh my God! I believe it. I really believe that it's probably that bad because, I mean, if this could happen to Black fucking Christmas, which is probably one of the greatest horror movies ever, why would it not happen to Texas Chainsaw Massacre? The bigger they are, the harder they fall. That's just the way it is. And I wouldn't be surprised. Look, I'll say it. I really won't be surprised if Halloween 2018 has some kind of political bullshit in it. I mean, Halloween Kills. I really would not be surprised if they don't have some kind of political bullshit. Halloween Kills. I'm serious. So that's why I'm not overtly excited for it. I'm gonna watch it. Don't get me wrong. I will fucking watch it day one because I'm a Halloween fan. But I'm wearing a helmet. I'm fucking wearing a helmet going into that movie.
There's also someone talked about how they're completely ripping off Halloween 2018 in the sense that Sally's character in this movie is listening to I don't know, like a CB radio. I don't know what it is, like hearing police transmissions and stuff, and she's all like ready for Leatherface to come back. Then he comes back and she's like, I'm gonna confront him even though I'm this like 70-year-old woman. And apparently it's just like Halloween 2018 on dipshit steroids.
So basically, again, it's another. There's really no legitimate Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. Every movie has been a part 2, with the exception of Leatherface being a prequel. This is another part 2.
Yep.
This is just another part 2. Jesus Christ! I mean, I guess why break tradition now?
Yeah. I mean,
why break tradition?
I feel like at this point, like, so many movies have come out since the last good one. I wouldn't say so many, but since the beginning, 06, you've had what?
I love that one. I love that one a lot.
So the last 15 years, you've only had 2 films, 3D, and I know Andrew likes 3D. I'm sorry, Andrew, that movie's turd.
But it's harmless though.
Yes,
3D is harmless. I like 3D too.
Yes, it's fun, but like I'm just saying, like it and it's not like Leatherface 2017, which isn't harmless. It's not for everyone, but it definitely is a lot more.
That one I do wish it's just my opinion, but I do wish that one just didn't exist.
So
I don't like that one at all.
Yeah, 15 years, 2 subpar movies, and now you've got a third one coming that is apparently even worse. And for whatever reason, they won't put a good director and some money behind this story. Do they not believe in it? I mean,
They
I,
just want to save money and not promote it much. Like these movies, like John Carpenter talked about this. Remakes, they're not cheap to make in one sense, but in the money they save in marketing.
oh
They don't
yeah,
have to mark. They don't have to. They don't have to. You don't have to introduce a fan base to a. You don't have to introduce a fan base to a. I remember the tagline when I saw the trailer for Texas Chainsaw 3D in the theaters. When I was going to see something. It was seeing You're Next. It was seeing You're Next in the theater, and they had a preview for Texas Chainsaw 3D. It said start the new year with a familiar face, Leatherface. Boom. Everybody went to go see it. That movie made a shit ton of money. Shit ton of
hmm
money. And it's really weird how some sequels like this, man, they'll kill and other ones they won't. It's really weird. I can't figure out the pattern sometimes, but
well, and I don't get it.
I don't
I
know.
don't get it
I
with Nightmare 2010, Texas Chainsaw 3D, movies that were massively successful financially, but never got continuations. Nightmare, I get because the fan base was like, no. Um, but Texas Chainsaw 3D made a lot of money. Didn't seem to piss people off. People might not have liked it, but it wasn't a movie that was like, that was fucking blasphemous.
yeah,
But
I don't know, man. I I don't know. I can't understand it either.
you would think if you strike gold, you keep it going, right? You know,
Well, that's what they
Halloween.
did in the 80s.
Yeah. But it seems like I don't know. Friday the 13th is one that I understand because Cunningham and Miller are just
It's too many fans in the pie.
yeah,
It's hard.
it's a pissing contest at this point. They don't really care about the fans getting more product. They care about getting the bigger check than the other guy. I mean,
And Cunningham sued somebody not long ago based on profits from the remake. So it's just this was like a month or so ago. It's like it never ends. It's just we win this, but
yeah, I mean, I've made the joke before that maybe our grandkids will get to see a new Friday the 13th movie. Maybe. I mean, maybe we just have to wait for Miller and Cunningham to die. And
yeah, no shit. But we'll
I
see what
mean,
their families do with it.
yeah,
Because what's going on with Elm Street? And
nothing
what?
that I've heard. Have you heard anything?
No, I mean all the time I hear something, but never anything that I can find a paper trail to on the internet. You know what I mean? Or I don't know.
All I remember about that is they announced a sequel to 2010. Um, and then that announcement was met with a lot of criticism. And then New Line pumped the brakes, and pumping the brakes ended up turning into pulling the plug.
Right?
And then nobody talked about it anymore. And I think a
No.
big reason for that is when you have the Freddy Krueger, Robert Englund, you know, openly speaking about fuck that movie, like fuck that movie. That makes, I mean, it's gonna be a hard sell to the fan base to get them to go see another movie like that. I mean,
It's just too difficult. I mean, it's not like it's. I mean, whether you like it or not, it's just not like Halloween or Friday the 13th. You can't. Halloween, everybody has their favorite Michael Myers actor. I mean, they really do. I like George P. Wilbur. He's my favorite. Some people like Warlock. Some people like Castle. Some people like Don Shanks. Some people like that Brad Larray bastard from Resurrection. But you don't have people going back and forth with Nightmare on Elm Street. You just don't.
no,
Why would you? So it's just not the same thing.
no.
It's just not the same thing.
I think that um, I
I
still
act.
think the route they need to go is bringing England back for one more movie.
I mean, he'd have to do it soon.
I know, and he is.
He's in good shape. Don't get me wrong. He looks great. And I was watching In Search of Darkness too, and I was like, he looks fantastic. He's still, you know, but
What would if they were to bring England back? Because he has already said, I believe, if he was going to do it, he'd only do it one more time to hand
mhm.
the reins over to someone else. So, if they were going to bring him back for one more movie, what where would you want that movie to take place? Where would you want that to go?
I don't know necessarily, but I can tell you what the movie needs to look and be like. It needs to be like the first one, where you don't see him that much. You
Mm-hmm.
have to, because he is older. You have. I mean, you have. I mean, just quite frankly, um, you need to make it like the. You need to make it like the first one, and have him be shadowed. Have him be sparse throughout the movie. Um, just very meaningful when he shows up. You know, I here's the thing. If they do possibly do it, they'd probably make like Langenkamp come back. And
Mm-hmm.
but then again, I just I don't know. You know,
But you and I both know if they did that, what they're doing. They're doing Halloween 2018 over again. They're making
well,
a
that's what's popular now.
yeah,
That's what's popular. So
they're
that's
gonna
why
make
I
a
say that's
sequel to the first one and ignore everything else.
right. I think about this a lot, as silly as it sounds, because I'm always like, what if? Because I want to see Robert do one more. I love Robert Englund. He's my favorite. Freddy's my favorite character. Um, Part of me, I'll be honest with you, part of me says no more, just no more.
But you
Uh,
know that won't happen. They'll eventually
Eventually,
make another one.
eventually,
Yeah.
without question, they will, because somebody wants to make money from it, and it's still a viable property. I mean, look, you know, I don't want to sit here and argue about what's the biggest franchise in the world. If you ask me right now, my answer is usually Friday the 13th. But when Halloween comes around, you don't go into a Walgreens without seeing a Freddy glove and a Jason mask. You just don't. So it still makes way too much money. The bastard still gets new toys every year. God knows I buy them. Um, so yeah, they're gonna make another one, without question. Of course they are. But I don't know. Part of me also says, I think if you did make another Nightmare on Elm Street and you do have to start it fresh, you have to find an actor that nobody knows about. I mean, you can't, like, you remember the Kevin Bacon thing, which got so blown out of proportion.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody talked to Kevin Bacon and said, "Would you ever be Freddy Krueger?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, that sounds cool. I'd do that." He said it in jest because somebody asked him. The headlines were, "Kevin Bacon wants to be the next Freddy," and it's all clickbait and stuff like that. You know, which I get
Mm-hmm.
it. That's the internet. You got to get your clicks. I'm not hating. Don't hate the player. Hate the game. But I think, Skarsgård, the Pennywise guy, right? I had no idea who the bastard was. So when I watched him in that remake, I didn't trust him because I didn't know him. As silly as it sounds, it's a movie, but I didn't know him, so
Mm-hmm.
he was scarier to me. I think if you get a Freddy, get a good actor that nobody knows who he is.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah. I
what I
mean,
mean?
you well, and that's been the talk lately is that you have to get somebody like that because as soon as you put a big name behind the makeup, everyone's going to already have their opinions going into the movie about that person or their expectations. Get someone like you said, perfect example, Skarsgård. I had no idea who he was. I knew who his dad was. He was Bootstrap Bill in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Like, you know, I knew that his brother acted, but I didn't know who he was.
Right.
And I looked at pictures of him and I was like, this guy's gonna be Pennywise. How's this gonna work? And then you
Yeah,
see him in makeup, and you're like, oh shit. Um, and you're learning this dude's personality through these movies, and I thought that that was just super cool. So yeah, you would have to do something like that.
yeah. I uh, I hope they do, man.
Oh, nice comment. It's oh, that's actually my brother Landon, my little brother. First of all, go
Hey,
to
buddy.
bed. Um, Second of all, you mentioned Spiral. I will say I'm about that movie, but the early reviews are good, so that's a good sign because a Saw movie with positive buzz doesn't happen a lot.
Well, this is the thing that I'm interested in. I remember reading a headline, like, one of the headlines was, Spiral is a good is a good blah 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 with a Saw movie that has something to say, or finally has something to say. And I'm thinking to myself, I was like, wait a minute, finally has something to say. I'm pretty sure movies like Saw 6 were dropping bombs on healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking? Remember part 6 where
Hmm.
it's all,
Oh yeah.
so again, I'm not trying to argue with this reviewer what they were saying. I'm a big Saw fan. That's my Friday the 13th, Nick. I grew up going to every year in high school, taking a girl to the theater to go see
Same.
the next Saw movie.
Same.
That's my Friday the 13th. Paranormal Activity, same thing. I saw all the sons of pitches in the theater.
Hmm.
So I love them, and I'm a Saw fan. So, and I liked Jigsaw. I didn't think it was great by any stretch of the imagination. I was like, let's get some good kills in there. That's all I need. Which I like some of them, but I thought they got a little bit too grandiose and like the big spinning thing. Just give me the guillotine with the
Hmm.
timer going down.
Yep.
They got to get their head out of there. But
Hmm.
throw a fresh coat of paint on Saw. Put Chris Rock in there. I don't give a goddamn. We'll see what he's got. What else is Chris Rock doing? Let's see what he can do.
That's what
Samuel
I'm
L's
saying.
in it. I like Samuel L. Baby.
I was talking to Brooke yesterday. I was like, come on, let's be honest. We already know that Samuel L. Jackson's going to be the best part of that movie,
Oh,
which is
money,
totally fine, totally
money.
fine. But
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when the first trailer came out, and they gave us what we all were wondering in the first trailer when he just says, "You want to play games, motherfucker?" I was like, "Oh yeah, like I gotta have it. I gotta have it."
I'm
So
sick of these motherfucking games in this. I can't wait. I think that drops soon, actually, on
Friday.
HBO.
Well, no, that's theater only.
What, theater only's Friday?
Spiral isn't coming out on HBO Max.
Oh, it's not. Son of a
Nope,
bitch.
their
I thought it
Lionsgate
was.
is doing theater only. So I'll be going to see it next Sunday.
I don't even think my
Um,
theater's open yet, dude. I'm serious. I have a theater. It's garbage. It's called Celebrity Theaters. It's trash. The seats are no more comfortable than like my computer chair is twice as comfortable as the seats. I have to drive 30, 40 minutes to go to a decent theater with like reclining seats and stuff. Oh man. But
yeah, I
I need to
mean,
see that movie. I want to review it because I'm a Saw fan, so I'm very excited. I hope I can, you know, I hope I can
are
go
you
see it. I'm sure I
familiar?
will be able to.
Are you familiar with Brad Miska from BloodyDisgusting.com? He's
Yeah.
one of the writers. Um, he gave a non-spoiler small review of it yesterday, and he said that it's original. It is gross out, um, but there's a story there, and it's surprisingly unique and surprising, and that it sets up a really cool like path forward for the franchise.
That's cool.
And
I mean, I'm down with that. I'm down with that. Nobody had any expectations of this movie to begin with,
no,
because Saw was like, I think people were they just had the remake, so people were I feel like people were just like, all right, let's move on. Oh, there's another one. Okay, wait a minute. So I'm hoping that's the case. Quite
mhm,
frankly.
yeah, I personally didn't care for Jigsaw. It's my least favorite, and part of the reason is what you said, the kind of going over the top with some of these traps. Also, you know, spoilers, guys, cover your ears. But the whole, oh, this happened 10 years ago.
A
This was
little
the
a little
first
cheap.
game.
A
Yeah,
little
I
cheap.
was like, come on now, come on.
But I did smile when you finally see John Kramer in the movie.
Oh yeah.
They brought
Hmm.
me back to high school years, and I was like, oh yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, I
Dude,
mean, of
but
course, I mean,
here's and that's why I'm bummed right now and worried about Spiral because you don't even hear his voice in the trailers. And that bothers me because I get it. I get it. Let's not be too attached to a guy that's been dead in these movies for like 6 movies now. But at the same time, every other copycat has used his voice. So
we'll see
I
what
would
happens.
I would
Yeah.
still like to hear the voice. It sounds like Kermit the Frog. So I don't know if it's really going to bother me, creep me out, or more just make me laugh. But
Yeah. We'll see.
I am stoked. We rewatched all of them the past 2 weeks, and man, I did a ranking that'll be out next week of them finally. Um,
I
I
saw
will.
films.
Yep,
Shit, dude.
I will tell you the first one is not my favorite.
Of course not.
It's in my top three though.
Dude, I
Is the first one your favorite?
no. What you know? One of my favorite ones is no bullshit. Is part 5. I don't know if it's my favorite. I love part 5. I love part 5. I love the main guy because he's kind of like that soprano Italian guy, and I relate to that because I got Italian blood. I love that one, and that one you really get to see. What's his face? The guy. Damn it, what's his name? The bad guy, not John
Hoffman.
Kramer. You really
Hoffman.
get to see Hoffman start to take shape. Um, my least favorite, I can tell you, my least favorite is 4. I think the story is just trash in that one. I can't get, stop trying to help people. Just sit on your ass. You'll win. Can't get behind that. The kill-wise money, that fat bastard in the bed in the hotel, kill-wise money. Story, can't get behind it. Don't dig the story. 2 is absolute money. Love 2. You don't have to spoil your ranking, but I'm just spitballing. Love 2. Love 3. Love 3. 3 is fucking amazing. 4, great kills, but the story, I can't get behind the story. Like the lead. That black guy, I thought he was awesome. I liked him, but his story was garbage. Sit on your ass. Just sit on your ass, buddy. I can't get behind it. Love 5. Love 6. Love 6. It's 3D I like. 3D I like. I saw that 3D in the theater. 3D. And I remember my brother was like, "Hey, that's that dude from Lincoln Park right now." I was like, "That is him." But
Yeah,
if I had to pick a favorite, it might be 3. I love 3. So,
that's my favorite.
but I love the first one too, man. I love the first one too.
Yeah, Dan. The Hoffman era was great. However, the only complaint I have with the Hoffman era is that they continued to drag it out without giving us any payoff with Hoffman. By the time you get to 6, you're like, this dude's an asshole that's putting people in unwinnable traps. I want to see him die. And he keeps getting away, keeps eluding everybody. And
But you went back to see the next one.
yes, but I will say that's why 3D has probably the second best ending in the series, aside from the first one, when obviously John Kramer stands up and you're like, what the fuck?
Look,
3D
Nick.
with Dr. Gordon bringing it full circle and putting him in the bathroom and then taking the saw away and like, no. And just walking away is like perfect.
Nick, like, dude, I'm not saying that people don't. I'm not saying people don't. I just think that those movies are dismissed way too quickly. Generally, those movies have a lot to say.
Mm-hmm.
There is some kind of message. 3D, Saw 3D. It's all about people wanting to be famous for famous sakes because that's what America is all about. What's getting big around that time? You got your Kardashians. They're just this famous family. Nobody knows what the hell they're doing, but they're famous. They're on TV, and like the movie is about a guy wanting fame so bad he will lie. Scream 4 did the same thing. Same thing. You
And
know,
then
you got the
Saul
health insurance. I mean, there is some great shit
and
in those movies.
Spiral looks like it's going to be focusing on dirty cops.
And that's great. That's great. As long as it's part of the story. Don't just try to tell me that cops are racist.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just you make it the story. I am all in.
Mm-hmm.
But put it behind something.
Well, I think it is because there's a clip,
I think so too.
There's a clip that came out this week, and it's like the USB. Chris Rock plays it, and the voice is like, "Some in your department basically use their badge for bad, not good, and I'm teaching them a lesson."
Cool.
And
I'm down.
Yeah,
I think that's great. That's great. That's the thing about Saw, man. I just think that people need to really go watch him again. I think they have a lot to say. They're not. It's funny when I think of Saw, Nick. I don't think about traps. Like I really don't. I really take something, dude. When I watched Part 6 with my brother for the first time, we both were like, "Damn, dude, that movie was all about what you are worth to the government."
Mm-hmm.
I mean, seriously, that's what I got from that movie. I just think people, because the movie is they call it torture porn, which I don't know that I necessarily agree with that or not. I guess I agree with it in a certain sense. It's all about intense gratuity, whatever. But those movies have a lot to say, and I just think that it gets, because it's in a gore movie, it takes a back seat. But man, people need to reevaluate. Some people need to reevaluate those films. I'm serious.
That's the biggest problem I had with Jigsaw, the most recent one. It didn't have much to say.
You're right.
And,
You're right.
And that's why I'm like, every other movie before that, you walked away going, this movie told me something. This movie shed light on something. Whereas Jigsaw just seemed like, hey, let's revitalize it. Let's bring him back. We don't really have much to say, but let's bring him back. And that's where I think Spiral is going to get it right, because it seems like it has something to say, which Saw is supposed to have something to say. Is it gratuitous violence? Of course it is. But you're a horror fan if you go to watch those movies, and that shouldn't
Right.
bother you. But pay attention to the story some, because you'll be surprised when you find out that every movie has something to say. I mean,
Right. Absolutely, absolutely, and I tell you, man, when you go back, and I know I've told you this, so I'm telling anybody listening now. When you go back and watch 6, it's it's not even subversive. I mean, it's out there. The
mm-hmm,
government is shit. Health
mm-hmm,
insurance is shit.
mm-hmm,
You are worthless unless you know. I mean, dude, it's real. It's real talk.
yep,
Great
and
movies.
and
I love them.
and
I love them.
it's stuff that needs to be talked about. And honestly, even
Yeah.
Saw 5, like Saw 5 doesn't rank high up there for me, but I still enjoy it. And one of the things that doesn't get enough Saw 5 doesn't get enough credit for is people go, oh, well, Hoffman's just killing people for revenge. But the movie's kind of saying something in the fact that the justice system failed. So Hoffman took it in his own
Vigilante.
hands. Yes. Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
put yourself in his position. If that happened to your sister or your wife or whoever it may be, and they got off scot free, wouldn't you feel like you had a debt to, repay to them? I
Yeah.
would, whether
And
I
then
do
there's
it or
and and there's interpersonal stuff too. There's jealousy because Shawnee Smith and Hoffman they fought over Kramer's love.
not. Mm-hmm.
You know, so there's a lot going on. It's a soap
Mm-hmm.
opera too. It's a
Mm-hmm.
fucking soap opera.
Yep.
And the
I
fact that
will.
every movie takes place directly after the next, that's a horror fan's dream.
Mm-hmm. I also love that. I love when Amanda dies in Saw 3, because
Oh, it's
she
amazing.
she pissed me off so much in that movie, because Kramer so obviously is setting her up like, this is your game, dude. Like, you're going to fail. And she's like, you don't know what you're talking about. Your message doesn't work. Your games don't work. And then she gets shot, and he's like, just gives her that spiel like, I was testing you, bro, and you failed.
Yep.
And she's like
Yep.
reaching out for him as she's dying, and he's just sitting there like, you're a dumbass. You're a dumbass.
Hmm.
And I remember seeing that movie in theaters, and I was like, that was the first one I saw. No, I saw Saw 2 in theaters. Um, and I remember watching Saw 3 in theaters, and I walked away and I was like, holy shit, like, that movie was awesome. A third movie in a franchise doesn't deserve to be that good.
Greatest brain,
Most.
greatest brain surgery ever put to a film.
Yep.
You know, I think it was practical too. Like the skull and everything when she was cutting it. I think that was practical
It
effect.
was. It
Dude,
was. And I,
my favorite scene in any Saw movie. I'm sorry to cut you off. I was
no, you're
thinking
good.
about this.
You're good.
When in part 2, when the girl Shawnee, she gets pushed into the pit of needles. You know, you got scenes where this dude's arms are getting turned all the way around and legs are literally getting turned all the way around. You got scenes where this dude's sitting in a pool, an empty pool, and pigs are being slaughtered and their blood is filling up and you can smell it through the TV. You got scenes with people getting barbed wire hanging and their platform goes a little bit lower, and none of that compares to falling in a pit of needles to me.
Nope.
It's so crude, so cheap, but it was Amanda. I'm sorry, it was
Mm-hmm.
Amanda. But at that of everything, that and the one scene where the guy has to push his face through those blades.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, I
and
feel it.
and I loved what he said too, when he's like, in order for you to escape, you have to make your face as ugly as yourself on the inside, like, because you're a terrible person. So and then it's so funny though, right after that, when he's like, you're fucking dead, and Kramer just has to sidestep him, and he falls into barbed wire, and I was like, what a
Great,
dumbass. But um
great.
yeah. What else? Yeah, Spiral. They're doing watch alongs right now, leading up to the movie. The Twitter account is, and they like tweeted tonight the picture from the needle pit, because they were doing a watch along of Saw 2, and they were like, only one of these syringes has the COVID vaccine in it, and I was just laughing my ass off.
That's funny.
But I
Oh shit.
remember, I remember watching that, and I'm like, I knew that asshole was going to throw her in. I knew he was. And I'm just sitting there and I'm thinking, if I'm Amanda, I am slowly trying to get out. And she's just like, fuck it. And she just starts going ham. And I'm like,
Dude,
dude,
it's
no,
brutal.
no,
It's brutal.
no.
It's brutal.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. Thank you for bringing this up. I mentioned this in my ranking. Not only does she put both hands in there, she puts one hand in there and she's like, oh, fuck, I can't get it out. Let me put the other one up there. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like, that's one of the things in Saw 2 that makes me want to throw something at my TV. She was so dumb. I mean, oh, these razors, they got my arm. Shit, I can't get it out. Let me try the other arm. Maybe the other side doesn't have razors. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
There
But
were
I
some
love.
scenes where like there were some scenes where I kind of questioned, what are you guys doing? Like, I think there was one, which granted, I think this trap actually was rigged anyway, so the girl wouldn't have got out of it. But like when the girl had the device around her rib cage, and she had that bucket with the acid in it with the key, that the bucket was kind of like on this thing, just kind of tilt the bucket over. But then again, I think if memory serves, that thing was set to rip off anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one where they had to cut off their body parts to like throw it down a chute to put weight on it. My brother was like, "Oh, just throw the weapons down there into a pit." But those weapons might have had things tied to them. I can't remember. I
I
can't
see you later,
remember.
man. Thanks for stopping in. Group setting, they don't work together. That's Saw 5, where that's another one where the bombs are about to go off and they think that only one person can fit in each giant fucking tunnel. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, there you go. Nobody
Like,
wants to work together. That's
if
why we can't get ahead. That's why we can't. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
mm-hmm.
That's life.
Yep. And then they end up at the end. Oh, if all of us survived, we would have just had to given 2 pints of blood. But now, we have to give like half of our blood supply in order to get out of the game. And saw their fucking arms in half. Shit's gnarly.
Dude, these movies were people weren't ready for how deep these movies were. I wasn't. I mean, I had to reevaluate the stuff because when I saw them, I was just like, "Let's see the blood." But dude, subsequent rewatches and watching those movies, and dude, they are awesome. I really think that those movies, like I don't know, I love those movies. I think that Saw is supposed to be getting a 4K soon, and I can't wait to get
It
Saw in
is.
4K.
Yep, it is.
I love those movies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah,
excited about that.
that
Okay, I'm
that
really
kill is
excited about
weird.
this, Nick.
What?
Donnie Darko. I found Donnie Darko today at Best Buy. I don't know if you like that movie.
Oh
I love
shit.
Donnie Darko. Yeah.
How much was that edition?
It was 30. It's one of those chunky ones. It comes with like the book. I just got it, and it comes with the book and 4K and a poster and all that, and it's got new artwork on it. I love Donnie
Mm,
Darko, so that's how I fell in love with Tears for Fears. But sorry,
yeah.
but yeah, I
No, you're
just
good. Um,
uh,
Here's my thing with 3. It's not that he couldn't. It's that again, it's Saul saying something. He's dealing with grief. He's faced with people that are responsible for his son's death, and then nothing happening to the guy that killed his son. And he's in the moment like, do you deserve to live? Because you didn't think my son deserved to live. And now the keys are in his hands basically to save these people. And it's hard. I mean, I'm sure if it were me, I would struggle. Like, it's hard. And he did save the dude, the judge, and he wanted to save the guy that killed his son. So you saw growth from his character. Um, the only thing I didn't like was that he just killed Jigsaw. Like, if you really grew, you would have forgiven him. And he said, "I can have an ambulance here in 4 minutes. I can
and,
save
and
you and your
and
wife."
that's and see, Nick, that's like another thing I kind of take away from Saw. John Kramer, in a weird way, he tried to help all these people, but in the end, you can't help people that won't help themselves. Like that's this. Like I kind of take that from this whole thing because everybody fucks up in these movies. The only
Mm-hmm.
person who ever, the only person who ever kind of got it figured out was Amanda, even though she, you know, she failed. Well, I guess she failed her own test, right? She got killed, but it's like John wanted to change people, but you just can't do it.
Nope.
You
Nope.
know, it's this whole. It's like full circle in a way. I don't
Hmm.
know, man. I love these movies. I love
Yeah.
talking about Saw.
Well, and what you were saying about Saw 4, one of the reasons I like Saw 4 so much is because you finally got the depth to John Kramer's character, and you finally got to see why he became what he became. Because
Backstory wise, there's great stuff. I'm not arguing that. I just can't get behind Don't Help. I still
yeah,
can't get behind it. I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah, I get it, and I think for me, the message to Riggs is clear the whole time. Like, you need to learn to let go and stop obsessing over things you can't control. You clearly don't have the answers to it, yet you continue to obsess over it and
And he's
get your
pushing his family away. I try. Kill wise again. Kill wise, money,
oh yeah.
money.
I hated to see Detective Matthews die though. Hated it.
he went out. He went out with a blaze of glory.
Mm-hmm. I know. Yeah, that was a bummer because when I found out he was still alive, I was like, holy shit, yes. And then by the end of that movie, my soul was crushed because I was like, dude, what the fuck? Like, this is the dude that beat the shit out of Amanda, laughed in her face, and said, "You're not Jigsaw, bitch. You're nothing." And I was like,
Hmm.
thank you. Somebody finally said it. And then he just gets his head squashed, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And see what I like about Five a lot is I forget the detectives the guy's name. I call him the
Strom.
Soprano.
Strom.
I felt like Strom, not necessarily story wise that he had the best arc or anything, but Hoffman, to me, when you find out who Hoffman was and stuff, he always by that point to me he seemed like he was untouchable and he was always one step ahead of everybody. To me, what I loved about Strom was he seemed formidable to him and he was on to his ass.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, get him, man, get him. Like I thought like he was like the Stone Cold to me. Like he wasn't gonna back down or get his ass whooped by anybody. I love the ending of Five because it was brutal. But I know it's not everybody's favorite, but for some reason I take to that one like a fish to water. I love Five.
Well, it's cool too because Five's ending subverts your expectations. Like,
It
we think
shocked
of
me.
we think of Hoffman as a guy that's not going to give Strom a chance because he's on to him. But he
Yeah,
tells him to get in the coffin and, you'll be fine. He's like, fuck that. And then he pushes Hoffman in it, and Hoffman's like, dude, I gave you a chance and you didn't want to take it. So now this is your tune. Like, you're gonna get fucking squished like Luke Skywalker would have had the trash compactor not acted up in
yeah.
Star Wars. And I mean, just watching that too, you're like, I mean, imagine being. Every time I watch it, I imagine being him. Like, dude, there's no way out. You're fucked, and you're just preparing yourself for the pain you're about to endure. Like,
That ending was brutal. That was the thing about Five, and you had to sit there and just wait for it. You had
mm-hmm,
to those and that. Oh God, when you see that arm and
mm-hmm.
I loved it.
Yep. What's he shushing you about?
I don't know. Maybe Corny hadn't seen any of the Saw movies, and I'm talking about the endings. Corny's got a lot of movies to watch. I'm sorry, Corny.
Yeah, yeah, he was supposed to learn restraint. I totally agree. But honestly, Amanda deserved that ass beating, and John Kramer basically alludes to that in Saw 3 when she's dying, and he tells her, like, your games were unwinnable, you were unfair, you didn't truly learn, like, your death, you had it coming. Like, there's really no. Oh wait, Corny says he's seen all of the Saw movies.
I don't know. Corny's just messing with me, man. Corny's a sweetheart. I love Corny.
We talked about that a little bit. Um, I love it. I love it. I think a lot of people that were fans for a while saw that coming eventually, because John Kramer wasn't a surgeon, and a lot of these traps involved surgical procedures. So there were hints throughout the series, and I believe they even said, like, we always knew We were going to bring him back. It was just a matter of would Carrie Elways do it? And he was like, yeah, I'm down. So they're like, fuck it. We'll just bring him back. But
Yep.
I was waiting for it for movie after movie after movie. I'm like, where's Dr. Gordon at? Where is he at? And there he was. Don't speak of Babishka.
I
That's
don't know.
what.
I have no
Corn
idea
said.
what he's talking about.
Okay.
Must be ambient time
Yep.
for him.
Yeah, man, I'm excited, but I don't know. What do you got? Anything you want to add?
I don't know, man. I'm pretty pumped up now. I'm just ready to see Spiral. Honestly, like above everything lately, like that is when that trailer got announced, when the trailer came out, I was fucking pumped. I was ready because I'm a Saw fan, so I was really ready to see that movie. So I was
Yeah.
bummed when it got delayed, and I forgot about it for the longest time. But now I'm ready.
Yeah. Me too. All right, man. Well, I think I'm gonna be wrapping up. I'm tired. I'm sure you're tired. Although I'm sure someone will probably rope you into their live stream tonight. So
We'll see. I don't know. This was fun though. I had a good
yeah,
time,
dude.
man.
Hey, everybody that's watching that, whether you're a sub to me or to Christian, if you're not sub to Christian, sub to him. I I love Christian shit, and I think he's got a kick-ass channel. He's
Thank
also a
you.
pretty nice
Thank you.
dude, so that's a plus. Um, if Christian wants to do this again sometime, I'm absolutely game. I
Anytime,
don't.
yeah.
It doesn't even feel like these go 2+ hours, man. And then I look at the clock and I'm like, oh shit.
It's time to wrap. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I gotta watch. I watch my son on Sundays because she works in the morning. So, But, dude, I feel like we can just fucking chat and go, man. Cornelius,
I don't know what he's
I
talking
think he's
about.
gonna try to rope you into a stream. That's what
He
it
ain't
sounds
doing
like.
it. He's in bed with the red lights on in the background right now.
Yeah, he might fall asleep on a live stream. He's done it before. You never know.
Won't be the first time. Won't be the last time.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. Thanks for everyone chiming in the live chat. If we didn't get the stuff, I apologize. We saw all of them. I promise. I appreciate the feedback. We know the red lights are going corny. Check out Christian's channel if you haven't. And anything you want to add, Christian, before we wrap it up?
I'll see you guys next time. We'll be back.
All right, man. Well, have a good night, man. Thanks for being on the channel. Thanks for bringing your subs along too. And I look forward to showing you my Saw ranking. I think it might ruffle some feathers.
Always.
But Saw 3 is my favorite, so at least we can agree on that.
Oh wow.
Yep.
There we go.
All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna head out, so I'll talk to you all later.